Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Heather, and I am so happy to have you here. We are continuing this spring cleaning series, and I am jumping outside to tackle some projects out here. The weather has turned warm, and I think on this day it was like almost 80 degrees outside, so it was just absolutely gorgeous weather. This time of year, I like to get outside and start pruning everything back. These are my knockout rose bushes. This is like right below my master bedroom. It is kind of like an awkward area. It's really hard to get stuff to grow here. Like right when we moved in, it was just grass. And in that little corner there, we just could not grow any grass. It was like just constantly muddy and soupy. And so I had tried to plant some other plants back there and just nothing was really working. And then I finally planted these knockout rose bushes, and I've had them for several years and they do really well. It took me a year or two to learn that you actually have to prune them back each spring. I definitely do not have a green thumb. Do not follow me for gardening advice. I just do my best, and I Google a lot of stuff, and I try lots of different things, and I see what works best. But I definitely learned here, and these knockout rose bushes do pretty well. The one that's on the very far left-hand side, sometimes it just grows a little weird because it doesn't get a whole lot of sun, so I feel like it's constantly reaching for that sun. And then the one on the far right sometimes gets too much sun. I felt like it didn't fare very well during our heat wave this past summer. But overall, they're doing pretty good, and I'm glad I have not killed them yet. Y'all, this made my heart so happy to finally be able to remove these dead plants. It's actually geraniums. I've been planting geraniums out here for the past several years, and for the most part, they do really well. Again, we had just a horrible heat wave, and I kind of gave up on them last summer and I just let them die. And yes, I left them the remainder of the summer, fall, and winter. So we are finally getting around to change them out. But oh my goodness, it feels so good to walk out there and see just these pops of color. It just really draws you outside. Don't have a green thumb, so I try to keep things fairly minimal outside so I don't feel super overwhelmed. And plants are very expensive, so I can't be killing them all the time. I can't afford to change them out like that. But if you have plants that you know that you love that do well outside and like full sun and the heat, please let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for something different to try out here and to change it up. So this whole area, this deck area that I'm working on, it's actually surrounds our pool, so just the pool deck. And I had worked on it last year when we initially had the pool deck laid. We had it stained, and probably within the first year, the stain just started failing. Like all of it was just flaking off, peeling off. There were big blotches of just like the regular concrete color popping through. And we had gotten a quote, and I want to say it was like $5,000 to $7,000. It was really, really expensive. I think what they had proposed was like just sanding it down and then coming in and restaining it. And that was just something that was absolutely not affordable. So of course I hopped onto YouTube and watched some videos, and I was like, sure, yeah, I think I can do this. And I did. Clearly I did. I stripped it, and I thought just maybe a couple of bottles of stripper would do, and I ended up using like 15. I think they were like $40 a pop. So it was pretty expensive, extremely labor intensive. Like there were certain areas that I just had to keep going over and over and over again with the stripper. Like I literally worked out here for a solid month. Like every day after work I would go outside on the weekends, and then sometimes I'd have to take a break because my back was absolutely killing me. Anyways, I got everything stripped. We pressure washed as much as we could. I would say we probably got, I don't know, like 98% of the stain off. I worked really, really hard, and then prepped everything, and then bought like, I can't remember what it was. I think it's Bare, but it's meant like for concrete, and it has a grit in it. So when the pool area gets wet, you're not slipping. And I think I spent total maybe $1,000, so definitely significantly cheaper. But I swear, if this fails again and starts peeling up, I'm probably going to hire someone to do it, because that was literally back-breaking work. It's holding up for now. It's looking great, but I don't ever want to do this again. It was absolutely awful, but it looks good, and I'm just going to enjoy it from here on out.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number one. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Today is just today and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now.
So now I'm just headed out to the patio. I'm going to blow everything off, all the dirt and dust and debris that's just built up over the winter. I am going to come back out in about 4 to 6 weeks to pressure wash everything, but I'm waiting until all of the leaves from the live oak and all of the pollen fall, because in about 4 to 6 weeks, everything out here is going to be coated in that pollen, and it is like a neon yellow. It is absolutely awful. And in years past, I've pressure washed too soon, and then all of the pollen fell, and then I would have to go back and pressure wash again. So I just want to get everything cleaned up so that I can enjoy my time out here without being covered in dust. I really like to come out here when it starts warming up on the weekends and have coffee with my husband. And I want it to be a relaxing space. So just getting everything cleaned up a little bit so we can enjoy our time out here.
Be hard working so you can be deserving of the rest that you are given. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Give a lot and live a little. Work with what you got. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now. You gotta get going. Easy now. Get along, give a hand, sleep heavy, be the man. Just there, where you are, do something, be the star. You gotta get going. Easy now, you gotta get going. Easy now.
So these metal chairs we have had for many, many years. I think we bought them right when we first built the pool, so maybe like 6 years or so. And they were sitting out there just out in the sun 24/7, 365, and they were just looking incredibly faded. So last year I actually spray painted them, and I even spray painted like that mesh part that you sit in, and it's holding up really well. I didn't think it would work or stick, but they still look really, really great. And I think it was like $6 for a can of spray paint, so definitely cheaper than buying all new chairs. So after I had got done cleaning the whole patio off, I was looking at it and I'm like, I really feel like it needs some greenery and some pops of color. So I grabbed this pot from my garage. It was actually sitting I had used it in my front entryway, and I was actually going to get rid of it because I'm just really don't think I want any plants in my front entryway. It was just kind of too much to take care of, but I'm really glad I did not get rid of it because I'm repurposing it out on the patio, and these flowers are just absolutely stunning. I have no idea what they are called. I wish I kept the little stick that they put in there. And then I got some lavender to put on one of the little tables. I've never bought lavender before, so I'm super excited about it. If you have any tips or tricks on how to care for lavender, please let me know. I don't want to kill this plant as well, but it smells amazing, and I think it just kind of warms up that space a little bit more.